Welcome to New Egypt, New Jersey. Just a second, let me adjust it. Okay, so welcome to New Egypt, New Jersey. We're walking through the area and pretty much there's a lot of stuff going on here, but anyways, this is pretty much the first episode of Talk with Us, so pretty much start off with pretty much an interesting question. None of these questions are really brought to you from you, the viewers, but if you want to comment in a question, then we could answer it during one of these sessions. But anyways, so our first question to ourselves is, why does New Jersey Transit operate this completely isolated line okay, from the Manhattan and Hoboken ending lines that just goes from Atlantic City to Philadelphia and just completely isolated from the rest of the system? Like, shouldn't that be transferred to SEPTA? I feel like there's only one answer though. Although, even though it doesn't make much sense, it's probably that they have the trains run from Philadelphia and it's mostly in New Jersey, and probably also SEPTA doesn't want another service. Especially after seeing the New Jersey Transit buses. Looks like it would be a downgrade on SEPTA quality. I don't know. Just doesn't really look good. Okay, and here's really the next question. Why did, Frontier, a year or two ago, why did they take away service from Delaware? Because now you can only take a private jet into Delaware. Why isn't there any flights to Dover? I feel like it's actually not that easy to answer, because a lot of airlines have regional service, and they fly into all these small towns in Pennsylvania, yet they don't fly to Dover. I feel like they just don't want to bother giving Delaware any service. I don't know. No.
Okay.
And anyways, just doesn't make sense, but guess it works. Oh, there's a garbage truck. Well, another thing we kind of want to know about is, why are there some parts of New Jersey where there isn't even a bus to get here? We're in New Egypt, New Jersey, and there are literally no buses here. This place is pretty much either you have a car or you don't live here. That's literally how it works. There isn't even a bus going through here. Nothing. Zip. It's crazy. It just doesn't really help a lot. Abba, do you have any questions?
Yep. I wonder why the Pennsylvania train that Amtrak runs from New York to Philadelphia to Pennsylvania, to Pittsburgh, doesn't continue on to Cleveland. I think maybe can be for a lot of people if it did.
I feel like the reason they don't want to do that is because Amtrak already isn't profitable enough, and I'm not sure that the tracks actually run efficiently between there.
Well,
but pretty much Amtrak is already losing money, and I feel like that extension wouldn't get them more money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And Amtrak.
The reason the Amtrak ran from Cleveland to Pittsburgh, I know this because the Floridian from Chicago to Florida goes to Cleveland, and then turns to Pittsburgh, and then goes to Washington D.C. and south from there.
Oh, okay.
So that means that there is a way it can be done.
Yeah, but at the same time, just Amtrak. The public is trying to skin Amtrak down. I don't think that's really a good idea, but the public is trying to make Amtrak smaller, not bigger. So putting that extension in wouldn't really help
These
what
are
the
some of
public is going for.
Yeah, make sure you get a picture of the stop signs here.
Okay.
These are some of the lowest stop signs I've ever seen. Every other place I've been, stop signs are pretty much higher. These are, like, I can touch the top of the stop sign, but you're not able to do the other place. When I touch the stop sign, I just I can do it. See, right there, I actually touched the top stop sign. I don't know if I've ever done that before my whole life before.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've gotten before, never the top of it.
Yeah.
That's a low stop sign, I don't know.
No.
I
know.
had to choose to build them.
Should we like keep on going this way?
We can. We have to just turn back the way we can. When we try
Okay.
It's been about 13 minutes, so if you want to turn back, we can.
Well.
You want to just keep walking a little bit?
Anyways. Abba, do you have any other questions?
Sure.
About like trains, planes, or anything like transit related?
So, yeah. Do you think it would be a good idea for the government to spend about $10 billion, that's how much it would cost, to connect North Station to South Station in Boston with a 4-track underground connection?
I feel like that would actually make sense because, number one...
It would make sense to do it. The question is the cost. Is it worth $10 billion?
I feel like it is because, like, a lot of people, like, say you live in, like, Gloucester.
Yep.
And you're like going going to Dedham.
Not just that. It also connects the entire north part of Massachusetts as well as southern New Hampshire and southern Maine to New York. Because what you can do is you can take commuter rail to South Station now from North Station, and then go all the way to New York.
Yeah.
And use the Orange Line to Back Bay and all that.
Yeah, it would really help Amtrak too, cause you could
take.
It'd
be a big deal.
Yeah, cause you could take the Downeaster to South Station, then the Acela Northeast Regional to New York.
It's kind of a historical accident that Boston has these two big stations and not just one.
Yeah, it's like...
I'm not sure how that happened.
I think what happened is, originally it was just North Station for all those commuter rail lines north. Then and can I just tell you something?
Yep.
They were actually supposed to make the North-South Rail Link with the Big Dig project, but they actually didn't, and instead all the costs were dumped on the MBTA, which is why the system is so bad.
But it's also that, when the Big Dig was being done, like that would have been had to do because once they were already digging tunnels under downtown Boston, like it would have been possible to do the rails as well, where the work was being done. But the Big Dig had so many issues, had cost overruns and delays, and somebody got hurt during the building process, and also there was a ceiling tile that fell on the driver, like an innocent driver, and killed them one time. There's lots of issues with the Big Dig. It really is not end well for anybody.
Yeah. Although,
Okay.
Yeah, but it would really have been helpful if they actually made the North-South Rail Link.
Yeah, I mean, you can sort of think about other places in the world where improvements can be made. I believe that there's been a proposal to make a Metro North in, like, New Rochelle, New Haven, Stamford, Connecticut, run to Penn Station also, because, like, if you're in one of those places and you want to get to Penn Station, you have to take an Amtrak train. Either that, you have to take the Metro North to Grand Central, and then take the Times Square shuttle, and then the A or C or E or 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever down to Penn Station. That's how you do it. That's very super annoying. And there are people that have to do it. Like they come into New York City maybe a couple days a week. Now, if you work downtown New York City, it doesn't matter because you just take the 456 from Grand Central and you get to downtown. But if you're in Midtown, then you have to do the shuttle, and it's super annoying. And a lot of people would rather just go to Penn Station in the first place.
Yeah, it's like New York also has that mistake, but at least they actually have options.
Yeah,
where you could go to Penn Station and Grand Central on the Long Island Railroad, and I think also NJ Transit.
The Long Island Railroad fixed their situation a couple years ago with the East Side Access project that put deep underground of Grand Central, so that Long Island Railroad trains can go to Penn Station and to Grand Central now. It's not just one or the other. It's not just Penn Station, but they can do either one. Okay, yeah, well, we should turn back.
Okay.
I thought we have to check it out and see if we can go wrap around this way, but I think let's turn back.
Let's go wrap around that way.
Okay,
so, anyways, I think here's another really big question. Why doesn't the MBTA have the Lowell line extend to Concord, New Hampshire like it used to?
Or at least Manchester.
Yeah, at least Manchester. Like it used to extend to Nashua, Merrimack, Manchester, and Concord. And I feel like that's a really good thing for them to do. Like,
The argument goes that the Providence line goes no further than to the south than Manchester would be to the north. It's about the same 50 miles either way.
Yeah, but still, like, just
It
doesn't.
would also enable people from Massachusetts to commute into Manchester, New Hampshire. Like,
Yeah.
low people can commute north if they wanted to work in
Yeah.
Manchester.
It's like, it would be really helpful. And here's another question.
Yep.
Why doesn't the Fitchburg line extend to Gardner? The
Why
tracks are there, and
It's already very long from Boston to Fitchburg. Like,
yeah,
why
but can I just
further?
tell you something? The line actually used to go to Gardner,
Really? I did not know that.
but for some reason, I think it was something like track disputes, they brought it back to Fitchburg, then
I think
extended it to Wachusett.
Sometimes only kind of thing because, as it is, the Pittsburgh line, sometimes they'll run only to Littleton Route 495 for the commuters that go on off of the 495 highway.
Yeah,
Sometimes it goes only that far.
yeah.
Other times they run all the way to Pittsburgh. Other times they do an express where they do express from Porter Square to 495 and then 495 the rest of the way. So like they have the expresses, they have at every stop, and then they have the ones that go local, but only so far.
Yeah.
So like because it's such a long line, I think it's a long line the whole system.
Yeah, although they do actually extend it. Yeah, they do also extend it to Wachusett, but
Yeah, Wachusett's kind of a strange place because, I think Wachusett's more of a park or touristy area. Touristy is not what they say, but it's a public park.
yeah.
That's why anyone who lives there. Like the last city there is Fitchburg, and there's
What about Gardner?
Gardner's a city too. I mean, Fitchburg is the major city of the area.
Yeah, but like, why don't
I've
they
never been to
extend it
Fitchburg,
to
but it's
Gardner?
I don't think enough people live in Gardner. I don't think it matters.
Okay.
When I talk about where people live,
No.
Gardner's pretty sparse.
Okay. Well, here's another one.
Sure.
Why don't they extend the Haverhill line to Portsmouth?
Yeah, or maybe to just follow the Amtrak's line up through Exeter and Durham and Dover like the Amtrak does. But the thing is, I think for the Amtrak, it's fine that the Amtrak covers those cities. But there are that many times of the day that people need to go there. At the same
Yeah,
time,
but there's still a lot of demand in that area.
yeah,
It's like it's the
I mean,
same.
the thing is
It's the same basic idea of
Dover is
extending.
not far from Portsmouth, but Portsmouth is its own
Abba?
sort of area.
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
It's the same basic idea of extending the Lowell line to Manchester and Concord.
Oh yeah, Portsmouth is a big city. It should be used more. It should be more accessible.
Yeah.
Because Dover is about 10 miles from Portsmouth, off to the north. It's Portsmouth, Dover, Rochester, in that southeast corner of New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's like
So Dover's
there's
in the middle
actually demand there.
I'd love to visit Dover one day because there's a number of interesting things to see there,
Yeah.
like the Children's Museum in New Hampshire and the Woodman Institute Museum.
Okay. Here's another one. What's like the point of the Greenbush line?
The point of it, for people to get from Boston to Hingham.
Like, why don't they turn it into something like a light rail line?
What do you mean? What would that work?
What I mean, or turn it into something like the Fairmount line.
The Fairmount line is kind of a funny line because it really should be a subway line, but it's have to be a rail line. It's
Yeah, but
a little awkward.
why don't they turn it into the Fairmount line, which is pretty much a commuter rail subway?
Yeah, isn't the Greenbush a commuter rail subway also?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's a regular commuter rail. It's like there are 4 train lines out of North Station commuter rail, and there are plus 1 Amtrak, and there are what do you call it? About 10 commuter rails at South Station plus 2 Amtraks. South Station is way busier.
Yeah. But
It's not even split by a stretch.
yeah, but the weird thing is why don't they turn the Greenbush line into more of a commuter rail subway like the Fairmount line? Cause
I don't know.
it's more of like a subway route than an actual commuter rail route in terms of demand.
I don't know.
Because commuter rail trains actually carry high demand.
Yep. Okay.
Subway trains don't carry as much demand. It's normally just throughout the city.
So I got another one for you. I'm going to change the subject a little bit.
Yeah?
Remember at the time a year or two ago that the MBTA shut down the Orange Line for a month?
Yeah?
So I just found out last night that in Cleveland, Ohio, the green line and the blue line light rail are shut down for a month and a half also. They're just shutting them down for the entire summer so that they can make repairs. I don't know why that became necessary, but
I guess it's kind of like the MIMO building, like, they just let it, or like the MBTA, like, they don't have enough funds, so they're just letting it fall into disrepair.
Yep.
And then, because they're letting it fall into disrepair, it's really low quality, so they have to close it down for a while to fix it. And it's really annoying because, like, on the MBTA, if you watch the incredibly pointless trip on the 4 buses video, you might not know this, but we were supposed to actually go to North Station.
On the Green Line.
Yeah,
but the Green Line was a half-hour delay.
We got to Medford Tufts, and then a few seconds later, attention all passengers. The next train is delayed about 30 minutes due to a stopped train, due to a disabled train at Leechmere.
Yeah, what hasn't even happened? Isn't there like backup power on some of these trains? They could like go a little bit. If
or like they could just send a train, couple it on, and get a move on.
Send a train, couple it on. That's what they do if a train really can't move. I remember we were told by one of our friends that she was on a disabled orange line train. I actually went myself. That same day I was 2 trains behind her train, so I was delayed also because of her train being stuck. But they said they had to get the train behind her stuck train.
Yeah, they could like couple the 2 trains. Yeah, they could couple
the train forward using push from a train behind it.
Yeah, or in the case of the Green Line, where they actually have ways to couple the trains together, they could just couple the trains together at that point, then get back in the locomotive and start moving.
I found something similar on a commuter rail train. We were heading into Boston from Lynn, which is where we work, and there was a disabled train situation. I forget whether I was in the front train or the back train, but they had to couple 2 trains to each other and like make it a super long train in order to get one out of the way. There was yet another time I was going in from Boston to Lynn. We had a disabled train. We had to wait for the next train to come, and they bailed us all out. And we all got from the disabled train onto the next train. And they, at some point after the passengers emptied out the first train, they cleared the train off the tracks.
Yeah.
But there has to be some sort of backup system that, the train can't run on its regular engine. They can still run a little distance.
Yeah.
Without having to do all
to
the
just get off the main track.
Yeah. And I don't know. Our backup systems on trains, something that, because think of it this way. If you're flying an airplane near the air, you have to have a backup system in case the engine fails, or even in case both engines fail, which has happened.
Yeah, like they have
ram air turbines.
They have the ram air turbines on the bottom of the plane. Like they can turn them on. They don't really act as an engine, but they do act as like an alternative. Yeah, they act as an alternative power source to like just get the regular systems running.
They kick in automatically if the engines fail. The sensors will tell you the engines failed, and then the turbines kick in.
Yeah. Like, they should have that same type of thing for trains so they could actually get moving.
Yeah, obviously for planes it's life and death issue, or convenience issue, but still, convenience matters. In other words, if it's inconvenient to take the train, nobody's going to do it.
Yeah, like, and apparently, like, MBTA says they have a better thing where, like, they say when the train's gonna arrive and it arrives, but that's only because they don't calculate it early. And with all the delays, technically Baltimore, even though in that case they're saying, like, it has less time accuracy ratio, has much better of a time accuracy ratio.
On this one. I have found the MBTA apps, like the MBTA Go app, to be fairly accurate in terms of predicting when things are going to happen. So it's not perfect, but the software's pretty good at predicting traffic patterns.
Yeah,
I've usually not been disappointed.
It's like 65% accurate compared to Baltimore, which is like 85%.
I guess it means it probably isn't as bad as Baltimore.
Although
Boston, which I think is true. I think Boston has worse traffic than Baltimore.
Although at the same time, the light rail in Baltimore does have one big problem that makes the Boston light rail, aka the Green Line, have a big advantage.
What is that?
The Boston light rail goes underground in downtown.
Yep.
The Baltimore light rail doesn't go underground at all, so they get stuck in downtown traffic.
I like the way the subway link in Baltimore is laid out. Because it goes very fast from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, but
there's only one line, which is...
And here's the biggest problem with it. It doesn't serve that many popular destinations.
Well, I mean,
Like-
part of the problem is that Baltimore in general is not a popular destination, so it's one of the working class cities where people happen to live. Which, I mean, it's always been that. You know, Baltimore used to be one of the top 5 cities in population in the whole United States. I don't know if anyone knows that. It's not that way anymore. It's not even the top 20. But, you know, as
Still
other
got
cities
a
grow,
nice-
Baltimore has not grown as fast.
It's still got nice population.
I mean, the thing is, you know, in the world nowadays, people really have more choice in terms of where they live. So people want to live in California where the weather is good, and Florida where the weather is good, and Arizona where the weather is not great, but at least it's hot, and it seems like it's hot better than cold. So, you know, people would rather live in Arizona than, let's say, Minnesota.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean everyone lives in Minnesota. Minnesota still has a nice population, and the Twin Cities, and even the smaller towns around them, like Duluth. But,
Okay, here's like 2 other questions that are technically kind of one question because it's all related to the Green Line.
Yeah.
The first one is, why don't they bring the A branch to Watertown back?
I think it would be a mistake. I think it would make more sense to get rid of the E than to bring back the A. I guess you could do both, but like four branches off the main trunk is too many. And I guess we can't get rid of the E because the college students rely on it. You know, there's a lot of colleges and universities.
Although, Abba, can I just tell you something?
Like Northeastern and
Abba?
College of Art and Design.
Abba, can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I really don't want the E to go the way of the A, where it just turns into a bus line.
Yeah, I think about it again. You know, it shouldn't be a bus line. It should be the way it is. You know, like I said, you know, a lot of the developments, like the Museum of Fine Arts and the Massachusetts Art and Design and Northeastern University, they're right on the E branch. And if the E branch were to stop, that would negatively impact those places
Well,
because then
Abba-
the people from there can't get to it from downtown.
Yeah, well, Abba, related to the E branch, here's the other part.
Yeah.
Why don't they bring back the E line extension to Forest Hills? It would pretty much bring
That would be
back.
nice.
It would pretty much bring back a far from regular area connection to like
Yeah, even there
Orange Line and Green Line because they've got North Station, but they don't have like Forest Hills area.
Yeah, even if there are no stops between Heath Street and Forest Hills, if they just get it there, that would be good connections from, you know, people want to go outbound rather than inbound. Or like,
In fact, I remember that when I was playing around on Metro Dream with the MBTA, I even took the E-Line extension a little too far by actually getting it going on the Needham line.
I mean, the other thing that can be done is like just you know, make it a little easier to transfer subways if you get out of one and get into the other one. Because like right now, if you do that, you have to pay again when you get in, even if it's just a few minutes later. You know, subway transfers are not like bus transfers. Bus transfers, you get off one bus, get on the next bus. If it's in a certain amount of time, you only pay once. But
Yeah.
for train transfers, even if it's have to get out of the first one, you still have to pay the second one. So
Yeah.
I think it's not a good rule. I think that it should have
Yeah.
to be that train transfers are the same thing. That you,
Here's the other
you take
thing.
second train, after you get off the first train, you only pay once.
Here's the thing though.
I know it costs the government money, but it's not fair. It's just not fair.
Appa, can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
Here's another interesting thing, which is that the E-Line extension to Arborware technically does still exist, but here's the problem.
Yeah.
Just like the A, it also went the way of the A, aka it's a bus line.
Yes, I understand.
So,
There are hundreds of bus lines in Boston.
yeah.
Some of them don't get a lot
Although,
of ridership.
Abba, can I just tell you something? The 57, aka the one for the A branch, and I can't remember what the one for the route between Back Bay and
I don't know.
Forest Hills via like
So somewhere between 1 and 90 because
circle.
you know,
Yeah.
that part of Boston's like 30s, 40s, that kind of numbers.
I think it's something like the 85
Maybe.
or 86.
Okay.
But like that bus route, those 2 bus routes are pretty also kind of went the way of the route from Malden Center to the airport. They're every 15 minutes.
Yeah, this is called high frequency buses, or this is
Yeah.
there's a different name for it, but like
Yeah.
it's you know.
Although sometimes I do wonder why
I
some
like the high frequency buses. I think it makes people a lot more interested in taking the bus
Yeah.
if it's going to come within 15 minutes of you getting to it.
Yeah.
I like the 104 bus in particular. When they changed the route from the Sullivan to the airport, it made it possible for me to take that bus on my way to work. And the 104 bus gets a lot of ridership. The new route is very good. The only thing about the new route that's not so good is that because of side streets and Chelsea, it's very hard for the drivers to drive it. But as long as you do it safely and carefully, it's an excellent route. It really covers
Yeah.
a lot of parts of town that are very densely populated and people ride it. It also gets you to Market Basket, so if you want to go to Market Basket and get groceries cheap, that's how people do it.
Okay, that's actually a good one.
What's a good one?
Like, that's actually kind of funny. Like,
I once saw a poor woman.
listen,
with a push cart.
listen, we're not trying to advertise for Market Basket.
We're not trying to advertise the MBT or Amtrak either. The thing is, it's this is the house.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyways, like, bye. We're back at the house. Walk is complete. Hope you like this 25-minute talk with us.
We put our younger son to sleep. Hopefully, we
yeah, that guy.
Okay, bye.
Bye.